What's going on, you guys? Brandon from Vegas, and welcome back to Won't You Be My Neighbor. Today, we're going to discuss how one of the biggest food influencers in Las Vegas bought his brand new build and why he chose West Summerlin, aka the Beverly Hills of Las Vegas. As always, I'm here with my partner, Mr. Bill Gaylord. Bill, how you doing? And today, our special guest is the one, the only, the sexiest Asian man in Las Vegas, Mr. Las Vegas. Phil, how you doing, brother?
What's up? Thanks for having me on.
Today, I helped Phil buy his brand new home in West Summerlin. We're going to talk about why he chose West Summerlin, what he expects from the area, and just the overall process of buying a home as an influencer, right? A lot of people are curious, like, how do influencers get paid? How do we buy houses? Are we self-employed? Do we work for the restaurants, right? So we'll get into all that stuff. The first thing I want to know is, how good am I as a realtor? Go ahead and tell the audience. You can be honest, too. If I suck, this is your chance to blow me up.
So I've seriously shopped for homes 4 times in my life. And this was the easiest, most straightforward experience. Probably the quickest. I mean, we only looked at 7 homes.
Yeah.
Where my last time we bought a home, my wife and I, in 2011, I mean, we looked at 40 homes. It was crazy.
Do you feel it's because you were time, or were you guys just kind of out looking?
We did.
Do you feel like they weren't as informative, or do you feel like you guys have changed?
We've changed.
You've changed.
For sure. I think we were way more sure of exactly what we wanted. So we needed to look at less things.
Yeah.
And once we found it, we were all in on that.
Your wife more so than anybody. I think we ended up wasting, I think, 3 hours on our first showing looking at houses. And I think the entire time she was like, yeah, we're going with the first one.
Pretty much. It's weird now because as home prices are, where we're living now, a $700K home, it's crazy to say, isn't that much of an upgrade from what we're doing now.
No.
And so that was an eye-opener. And made us realize, we need to look at something higher, something nicer.
Yeah, and what was crazy is that we were looking at homes that I think 3 to 4 years ago would have been seen as like top of the line, right? But as they've moved closer and closer to West Summerlin, I think they were pretty outcasted and felt, it's weird to say because it's only been 4 or 5 years, but they felt almost outdated very quickly, right? So ultimately, why did you end up choosing West Summerlin, aka Vegas Beverly Hills?
Happened to be the place where the home was at, but we always want to stay on the west side. We've lived here since we moved here in 06.
Yeah.
And so a bit further out west, but I think it's going to be good. We're excited.
Yeah. I know our initial search was essentially like
pretty narrow.
Pretty narrow. We were basically going to the tip of Summerlin down to like above Blue Diamond, right? So you were pretty keen on like the southwest of Vegas. Is it just because this is where you film the most? Is it because this is where most of your job is centered around? Or is this just an area you feel comfortable?
All the above. We've always lived in the Southwest. Our first apartment was on Decatur and Flamingo. And we just moved further west since then. So there is a comfort and there is convenience as well for a lot of the places that we like to go just to eat on our own. And my clientele as well is close to the west side.
So do you still have the same route, the same shopping centers, the same grocery stores, all that stuff? Or is that all kind of changing as well?
That is all kind of changing. We need to figure that out. I don't even know where my mailbox is at my house yet. But yes, that's all going to change a little bit. Grocery shopping doesn't happen with me, but yeah. Phil, if I need to buy hummus, maybe.
Phil.
Me, myself?
Yeah.
Like with a pan?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Years. I'm the guy that blames the recipe when the dishes go bad. It can't be me.
It can't be me.
I follow the thing.
I do the thing.
To a T.
I know good food, right? I always tell Phil, I said, Phil, you honestly could open a restaurant just selling leftovers out of your fridge, right? Because like you open up his fridge and it's just leftovers from the nicest places in Vegas, all in like one orderly row, called like Phil's Leftovers. I'm telling you, people would pay top dollar for that shit. $10 a plate.
So we get the boxes and I write on a Sharpie what's in it and the date,
dude,
just so we know.
You're gonna change. That's the nicest meal they've had this month, you know?
Yeah, the people less fortunate on Arroyo Crossing, a lot of them know who I am now because of the leftovers.
So what I'm hearing is 10 years from now, the kitchen that he just bought today will be the same kitchen 10 years from now.
Oh,
it won't even be used.
Unused. I sometimes shoot. I sometimes shoot my wife making home cooking content.
Oh,
so
really?
that'll be.
Oh, that's dope. I want to see.
Yeah, the kitchen is perfect for that.
Does she sing while she cooks? That's what I want to know.
No singing while cooking. Really, a mic in a karaoke room is required for Ayumi to
sing.
belt out a
Okay.
song. Food schedule when I know like these restaurants. I mean, based on my food schedule, when I know I won't be eating these leftovers in a timely manner.
Yeah.
I know exactly where to go around Arroyo to give some food out.
Because they give you way too much food, right? They give
Of
you more
course.
food than one person could possibly eat for leftovers, right?
Sure, that happens.
Yeah. So I'm glad. I think a lot of foodies don't talk about this, right? Because people don't think this, but we are a humble group of people, right? For the most part, out of all the influencers in the influencers world, I think foodies are the most like normal and humble out of the group. And a lot of us will just drive around and like, for me, Sunset Park's my big one because that's, you know, a big central location. But I think a lot of foodies give our food away to the homeless. And we don't talk about it, but like I wish we would more because it's something cool that I think a lot of us do.
That's awesome.
Arroyo
For
Crossing. Sure. Okay, see? Maybe that would be our next video, Phil. We'll just be like, here's giving away food to the homeless.
One lady once was like, "You gave me that kimchi last time. I didn't like that shit." I'm like, whoops. Whoops.
She's doing food reviews.
Yeah, I'm getting berated. I'm getting berated on the corner.
Phil gave me kimchi. I felt it was not as crisp as it could have been. So when you're in West Summerlin, right, the expectations up, and I think we kind of caught a good variety of who's moving to West Summerlin, right? And essentially right now, West Summerlin consists of three people. It's people moving from California who, for some reason, all they know is Summerlin and Henderson, right? That's the two, you know, they go on Google and it's either Summerlin or Henderson. So you're getting a lot of California up there. You're getting a lot of people from Old Summerlin who are like, okay, well, time to move where the equity's going. So they're kind of moving up that hill. And then you're getting my favorite group of all time, which I call the New Balance wealthy Asian category. Swear to God, man, you guys, I do not know what it is about Asian people with money, but you guys have impeccable home buying taste. You guys, seriously, like when South Summerlin started blowing up, when the Southwest started blowing up, look at the restaurants that started popping up, right? And why do you feel like this group is so far ahead of the curve, especially when it comes to real estate? Because I've always noticed it, right? Is it just like you guys don't, so many groups are hesitant. They wait. They're just like, there's like this delay. Where with you, there was no delay. You were like, I want this home. I want to do it now. Let's go.
Well, tariffs, all that kind of stuff, kind of all balled together into thinking we should probably get something in early 2025 instead of later.
Did the fires happen and you go, let's go now?
I mean, yeah, probably within
pretty much
a week or 2 weeks.
It was fast. It was then, but I think people need to understand why some people succeed and some people don't, right? The fires popped up. We knew that there was going to be some political instability. We knew, you know, tariffs were a possibility. Some people cower and they hide and they wait and they go, oh, well, let me see how it shakes out. And other groups are like, no, I need to go now in case something bad happens, right? And I think it's interesting how some people prepare for the worst case by either staying in their shell or just attacking the thing right now. And that's what we saw in West Summerlin. I think every time we went to your new build, it was, right, you saw the same groups of people there just ready to buy houses, right? Is that
just walking down the street and seeing how the lot premium prices were going up for the same model of home.
Yeah.
Just a few blocks down the street was crazy.
What did your lot premium end at?
30,000.
30,000. Okay. We went there yesterday. The lot premium is 90,000.
90,000?
90,000.
It's gone up 60,000.
$60,000, right?
Money you're just throwing away.
Instant equity.
Instant equity.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, and that's what I was talking, the entire time we were showing West Summerlin, right? And we were talking, we said, okay, look, we have found bigger houses down the road. We found bigger backyards, but in 1 year from now, those houses may be $30,000, $40,000 more. I said, a year from now, your house might be $150,000 more. And that's, I think, was a huge push for West Summerlin, right? Not only do we like the house, but like the equity is kind of built into the market.
Absolutely. And driving around that area just off the Far Hills exit, it is stunning how many homes are being built, all these new neighborhoods. I mean, they're going to have to expand that road to 215.
To 215.
But it's amazing.
Yeah.
I constantly marvel at it. And if they can install a cell phone tower as soon as possible, that would be much appreciated.
You would need that, yes.
If you're going to move to West Summerlin, yeah, for one, get the strongest internet you can and get window cleaners immediately because that dust from Red Rock is coming directly on you.
But comfort and niceness that they want because they're used to that, and that's just.
Is it built? Is it a cultural thing to value real estate, or is it just a cultural thing to want the best?
I mean, as far as you can get, yeah. I mean, the most best you can have,
Okay.
the bestest you can have.
Because I didn't really listen. I talk about this on my stories a lot. When I first started it's very challenging to get like higher end Asian clientele. They're very specific. They're not gonna just automatically trust and believe you. They want the best between both the houses and the people that they're working with. And so, as I've started to get more of this clientele, I like picking. Now it was easy because I've known Phil beforehand. I was very fortunate. I was able to ask.
I was fortunate. What are you talking about?
Oh, stop it! I'm blushing. I was able to ask Phil questions that I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't ask a new client these questions, but since I knew Phil, I got to kind of talk to him and learn. And I'm always so impressed. I think that's the best word I can go with is impressed by just the level of ingenuity and the go-getter there. I've always admired that. I truly do. I think it wasn't until I worked with you and kind of got to see how you guys handle things that the word admiration came about. It's an admirable quality.
Thanks, man.
I'm curious, Phil, how did you select Brandon? I mean, was it just because of the relationship on the food side?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, living in Vegas, I know a few real estate agents and things like that. But I think when we went to when we were at the point where we were starting to seriously consider looking at homes, it just made more sense that the money go to a friend instead of some random stranger. Mm-hmm. And I love that Brandon is a straight shooter. He really said it like it is. And every home we went to, within 5 minutes, he would just give his own real opinion,
right,
as if he were a friend or a family member, and it helped move the process along, swimmingly.
Yeah,
he's a real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's still
Yeah. Thank you, man. I gotta. This sucks because we're gonna end with me trying to get under Phil, and now he's being so nice to me that I don't want to. So you mentioned something earlier about one of the big draws of West Summerlin is that that's the destination for Hollywood 2.0, right? Sony Studios, Mark Wahlberg, a lot's going on right now, right? Where do you stand on that? You've been here for long enough that you're a Las Vegas now. You've been here since
we moved here in 06. Yeah,
06. So 20 years, right? What do you feel about that? Do you think the pros of the money that they're bringing balance out some of the fears, or do you have no fears at all?
I have no fears at all. I think it's just gonna take Vegas to another level. Like, it blows my mind how different Vegas is from when I continue to grow and get better.
How do you think Hollywood coming here is going to change the influencer market here? Do you think, because it's kind of weird, what we do is we make little like food movies and commercials, right? Do you think that they're going to start trying to incorporate any of that influence into Hollywood? Do you think they're going to bring in their own different subset of influencers, right? Because we have not since the grand opening, right? And so far there's been almost like a disconnect between the two groups. Do you see that changing?
You look at LA influence that fell into influencing, and I think that will eventually happen as well. It will just be more LA-ish.
Because we have a versatile group of influencers here, right? Where like I do real estate, like Daniel Leo does like local news, right? Everybody kind of branches and touches different topics, right? You have like Velia and Las Vegas Chicas. They dive into some of the local activities, girls' nights out, things to do. Like we have a versatile group of influencers here.
Yeah, the content creator pool in Vegas, the talent is huge. You compare it to any other city, Boston, even New York, things like that. Like in Boston, there's probably only maybe 10 needle movers for food.
That's crazy.
And I would say there's a solid 30 in town now that could get you instant business overnight after a post.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we always have like the big four, like you, Drew, Starfish, Vegas Foodie, Keith Lee. I guess he's not really from here anymore, right?
He went to Dallas.
He's global. He's global off the jump. I think Hollywood people have already gotten up here, right?
Definitely. I think I can't imagine a better city to do this kind of gig in than
In
Las
Vegas.
Vegas,
right?
It's fun.
for sure.
You see, because obviously when the Golden Knights came here, that affected equity. When the Raiders came here, that affected equity. What are your expectations from the lending side?
Bring in a whole new economy. I think it's going to bring in a lot more higher paying jobs.
Yeah.
The whole Hollywood 2.0, as we call it, is going to be super technical, right? So you got Hollywood, regular Hollywood, and then this is going to bring in all the tech. Have to have people operate all that, and I think that's going to increase actually the real estate values as well.
You think Austin's going to leverage us for more money? Well, if you don't have Wahlberg today, Brandon, you're going to have to push it back to tomorrow. No, one of the biggest draws of the West Summerlin area is that, much like when the Golden Knights came here, a lot of their players moved into Summerlin, West Summerlin. If Hollywood 2.0 is right there in West Summerlin, odds are that's where they're going to be buying their houses, right?
Yeah, they're going to buy them, but I think there's going to also be a lot of people coming in from LA, from Hollywood to visit for production, for things, and then that's going to certainly help the restaurants and everything surrounding that when they come in to do that and they do the production. I think we're going to see a lot of that too.
Yeah, I agree. One of the big things that West Summerlin, and I think this is what I'm going to find interesting from a foodie perspective, is they're going to have to start putting restaurants in West Summerlin that cater to that audience.
100%.
Right? Like, people forget, Las Vegas is a dive bar, we eat at Johnny Mac's kind of crowd. I think F1 learned that lesson where they realized that New Vegas is a NASCAR Wild Wild West country city, right? We're not like flashing, we're not Monaco, but up there in West Summerlin, if that's where Mark Wahlberg and his friends are going to be hanging out, they're going to have to cater the food scene towards that, right?
Definitely. I mean, Harlow and they got to have way more. I mean, I look around my area. There's no restaurants right now. And if someone opened up a Chinese restaurant right now, they would
Clean up.
destroy it.
Crazy.
Clean up.
Destroy it.
Yeah.
I just think it would be a challenge for a restaurant. Summerlin already, and this is something we'll kind of talk about a little bit later, I think Summerlin already struggles to provide affordable quality food because of how expensive it is to open a business in Summerlin. And in West Summerlin, it's going to be double that, right? The amount of what you're going to be paying for a lease in West Summerlin with what the land cost is going to be insane. So the restaurants are going to have to be high end just to.
True.
You've got the legislative session happening now, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes trying to make sure that, because they want tax benefits, right? So we'll have to figure out, hopefully they can figure it out. I want it to happen. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did you find, now that you live in West Summerlin, do you find some of the other parts of Summerlin, what's what I'm looking for? Would you find it a challenge to live like in more of original Summerlin? Do you feel like it just doesn't have the same offerings as it once did?
I think the homes themselves, it would have been a challenge, I think, because it just feels older already.
In terms of like layout, style, design?
Yeah, layout, style, and design, all of that stuff. But I think the convenience of all the stuff nearby, even still Boca Park and Tivoli Village and all that stuff is still great. Downtown Summerlin's just one exit away from me now, which is great. But yeah, I think there's quite a demand for more to come.
Yeah. Why do you think, and this is something I know most of the influencers around town, either by passing or I know them personally. Why do you think in our line of work, so few people are interested in real estate?
Do you feel like they're not interested in real estate?
Yeah, because
I never thought that way.
Do you feel like they just can't buy because of how they have to earn their income?
Well,
I'm in a different situation. Both my wife and I are in our 40s. We don't have children, so we have a lot more disposable income than your average person or average influencer who has kids.
Yeah.
So I can't speak on what their financial situation is, but obviously there is a lot of money going around, and so hopefully they're doing well and saving and not blowing all out of it on whatever.
Whenever I go out and meet and talk, nobody ever brings up real estate, right? No, nobody, not ever. But I think Phil's the first person that I've ever, hung out with, had lunch with, who's been like, yeah, how's everything going in Summerlin? And I'm like, oh, well, thank you for asking me. Thank you for showing interest.
That's
Phil.
interesting.
That's great. No one's ever brought it up. Not one single time. And me, I'll give you the honest opinion. I'll help you, get there. But I think you're the only person who's ever showed interest. So I always thought it was curious. I just always thought it was curious.
I'm going to say Austin. Austin's interesting.
That's true. That's true. Austin's asked.
I think it's kind of in the background, but I think part of it is the economy. With people think it's hard to get into a home, thinks it's too expensive from a mortgage payment standpoint. But I think it is in the back of their mind.
Sure.
But it goes back to what you were saying before. People just kind of thinking, oh, someday we'll do this.
Yeah. It's not a, if I made a list of important things on people's life, right? They'd be like travel, vacation, having fun, spending time with my friends. There'd be like 10 things that they would put above,
Real estate.
Owning a home, right? And I guess maybe it's because of our age. We both skew, a little bit older than like your average influencer.
True.
Maybe that's where the focus is. Because I guess I'm
a little younger, so
you're old, or Boomer Bill. I know if I tell people all the time, if I was Brandon from Vegas at 25, I'd be dead. I'd be in a gutter somewhere, right? Because I would be degenerately partying and, oh, you'll let me into your restaurant for free? Oh, let me come, hit this bar. And I'm super impressed that how many young influencers out there don't go down that path. Like, I truly am.
What blows me away is the average age of the first-time home buyer, has gone up tremendously.
That's true.
It's gone up from like 29 in the 1990s. What do you think it is now?
38.
38.
Really?
Spot on.
Wow.
It's 38. And it went up
Good
to
guess.
like 32, 33, 34, and now it's 38.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I look at, I think first-time home buyers, they want to buy. So 55% of the mortgage applications in 2024 were from first-time home buyers. Not that they bought, but they want to buy, 55%. And it only consisted of 26% that actually purchased last year. So there's demand there, but they're not taking the initiative, somewhat the leap, the like taking that action. I call it the buffalo. Be the buffalo. You got to run into the storm as opposed to the herd that's following the storm. So sometimes it's
Phil's a buffalo.
A calculated risk. Phil's a
buffalo, man.
Yeah.
Another piece of urgency for me was actually taxes. As an influencer, you got to get that all lined up. That was 2 years in the making.
Yeah.
Because before
On your
then,
income tax?
Yeah, I was turbo-taxing it and just kind of
Writing things off.
writing a ton of stuff off, just teetering on like,
I got this over here.
wondering if
so,
I'm
yeah.
if the government would be wondering if I'm making any money at all.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But there are just want to file my taxes again like that in 2026 and pay Uncle Sam a shit ton of money and all that stuff.
Yeah, and as self-employed, I mean, I see it all the time, and it's you're self-employed. There's a lot of people that are self-employed in different industries, and there is advantages to being self-employed, but there's disadvantages too. And the advantage, obviously, is that you do have legitimate business expenses that you write off. You got a lot of those, but sometimes if you write off too much, you don't have the income to qualify for a loan. And at the end of the year, you wrote everything.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, I've got a lot of self-employed borrowers that come to me and say, Bill, I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
How much income do I need to have to do it? And I say, well, what kind of house do you want? Where do you want to be? You're going to have to pay income tax, and you may not be able to write off all the business expenses that you would normally write off to show the income. So we kind of do an analysis as
total bounce. It was shocking to me in late 2022 that the mortgage company told me I didn't qualify for anything. I'm like, I have a considerable amount in the bank. I can make the payments. I can put this down.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Because from what the government sees, you don't have any of this stuff. Right?
It'd be questionable for me to rent an apartment.
It'd be questionable for an apartment. How are you affording to eat, right? What would you say would be the biggest advice to other influencers, creatives, or hell, even just self-employed people on what it really takes to get in a home when so much of your balancing act is write-offs?
Yeah, a lot of that has to be aligned, and it's basically a 2-year plan that they need to really implement, get with an accountant or get with a friend that knows, etc.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was a 2-year process. Shout out to my accountant. I don't want to name the company, but yeah, helped me out a ton. And that's a big reason why I'm sitting here with you guys today.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Bill, and Bill was my lifesaver, right? Because me and my wife were both self-employed, and just to stay in business, just to stay afloat, we had to write off everything under the sun as both a realtor, influencer, whatever. And I remember, trying to qualify for a home and being like, bro, you could get a shack over in North Vegas, but that's all you really could qualify for. And the 2 years, right?
Game plan, because you have you have to balance between paying the income tax in order to qualify and support.
You have to know what anybody listening, if you're self-employed, if you're a creative influencer, know what type of house you want and know what it's going to cost you. Talk to a mortgage professional and figure out what your mortgage is going to be. Then bring that information to your CPA and say, hey, look, my mortgage professional says I need to show this much money per year to qualify for this much mortgage. Make that happen.
Yeah. And there's, for some self-employed, there's bank statement programs where you can utilize the revenue from that bank statement, and we calculate it and we average it out, but you're going to pay a higher interest rate for that. So you're going to pay one way or another. And so it's just a matter of which way is the best way for you.
Yeah.
And I think going back to content creators not thinking about real estate, that's probably a big thing as well, because this is a 2-year plan for a lot of them.
It is a 2-year.
And who knows, prior to getting into influencing,
have a 1-year plan, right? How many of us have a people?
So I think for a lot of people, it seems daunting to kind of look at, that far down the road, and that end of the road never comes.
And the end of the road never comes because they never planned for it, right?
That's awesome that you took that 2-year plan, you spelled it out, you made it happen, and there you are in the new house.
For sure,
That's awesome.
for sure. Wish I did this in 2022, but yeah.
Phil's a businessman. Don't let the foodie gig fail you. Phil knows him some business. All right, this man worked. He didn't come out of the womb posting about food. Okay, he's done a few things. What were a few of the hurdles that you weren't expecting, either during the process or post process?
There haven't really been that many hurdles, I would say. I think the biggest hurdle was just getting all the documents submitted. And it seemed like they just wanted more and more as time went on. And
how many documents did you end up submitting to the...
Over 100.
Jesus.
Felt like, 100 pages of things.
Yeah.
Bank statements, P&Ls.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we uploaded a ton, and it seemed like they kept hitting me up to send more things or correct this thing, blah, blah, blah. But I think that was pretty much that and the taxes were the biggest hurdle. The home itself, there are a few things that we needed, so I got to fix all that up. And it seems like quite the task. I'm not a handy person. So we'll see.
Don't worry, we have a handyman for that.
Yeah, we do.
Why did you choose to rent out your current home rather than just sell it, pocket the money, or put that money towards the purchase of your new home?
I feel like real estate is still on the up here. So, I bought our place was $178K in 2011.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And now awesome. It's closer to $5 million.
Yeah.
So I just felt like there's no point in letting it go. To have that equity, to have the value of that home just as part of our financial portfolio was worth having.
And it'll be positive cash flow for you as well when you rent that out at that loan amount. That's going to be good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See, foodie, real estate mogul. This guy, now 10 years ago, I'd say, man, he's like Foodie P. Diddy, but we can't use the P. Diddy thing anymore. So now.
You just did. What are you talking about?
Now he's like Foodie Jay-Z. I don't think Jay-Z's canceled yet, right?
Pulled off the air.
No, yeah. There was,
it's been removed.
There was some murky waters there a couple months ago.
Foodie Jay-Z. Really nothing up there yet in terms of there's real estate, there's homes, there's new builds, right? What, if anything, if they could build one, be it a restaurant, be it a grocery store, what's the first thing you want them to put in West Summerlin specifically for you? If they were like, Phil, we're going to cater this place to you, what do you want? What's the first thing you want closest to your house?
I want two things. I want high and I want low. Okay. So Roberto's would be nice.
Okay. Roberto's. I love Roberto's.
And then steakhouse like Joe's. I mean, Joe's West Summerlin would be incredible.
Joe's
like
West Summerlin?
Yeah.
Joe's?
Like, the one in Caesars where, yeah.
Okay.
Crushing some king crab.
Crush some crab.
Lobster tails, salad, bottle of wine for lunch. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And I think that would be it. And then also some kind of a sushi restaurant that's not
all you can
outrageous.
eat.
Right. That's legit.
Yeah.
No, you said outrageous. You don't understand. Phil changed.
Make it out.
To me, I was like peak, right? And then started hanging out with Phil, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't really do all you can eat anymore. I need the whole omakase experience. Phil will ruin you, man.
Hey, where's this uni from?
Where's this? Excuse me. Where's this uni from? Is this bluefin? Phil, if you eat with Phil too much, man, he'll ruin your diet, man. No. You can't go back to the normal shit anymore. Phil, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, guys, when we brought Phil on, right, our audience knows Phil, they know me, and they want to talk food. But our goal was to educate you guys when you come on this channel. And when Phil's on here, he's someone who bought a home, and the experience is, whether his job is different than yours, the experience is the same universal one, right? So we wanted to make sure you guys were educated and you understand that an influencer bubble, if he can come up with a 2-year plan, it can happen for you. It's all relatable. But we do want to give you guys the food content that you guys want. So we're going to do it in the least boring fashion. Phil, are you ready for a segment we created just for you called The Grill? Welcome, Phil, to The Grills. Whenever they have foodies on podcasts, they always ask us the same. I'm going to ask you the real shit. You ready, Phil?
I'm ready.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I didn't have any questions set up, but okay.
Good. I don't have any questions set up either.
It's going to be good. I want to.
We're just going to YOLO. We're going to YOLO this, okay?
Okay.
Where is your favorite place to eat before getting drunk?
Ooh. Am I with a group or it doesn't matter? I don't.
Forget the group.
I really like Barry's Downtown Prime at Circa.
Respect. Why is that?
Just because it's the best restaurant on Fremont Street. The food's amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. And if you're looking to get loaded, you go right upstairs and you're on Fremont Street, and it's a very easy thing to do. And I think that would be my plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So berries before drinking.
Berries before drinking.
Berries before drinking.
Okay.
I like that a lot because it's just proximity. I don't have to drive anywhere else after. I'm just right there already.
You know, Phil's a baller before he gets so drunk that he pukes, he wants to eat a $300 meal of berries, man. That's some baller shit, man.
That's true. I haven't puked in a while.
Yeah, he's a professional. He's a professional.
He's a pro.
Eggs on burgers, yes or no?
Fuck no.
No.
When you put an egg on a burger and call it a breakfast burger, you're a dick. That's a marketing move. Don't do that. If I go to your brunch,
just call them that.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, this is the grill, right? These are hot takes. Oh well, it's breakfast now. Like I don't like that. I hate
why
that.
do you like it?
Oh, they don't have to call it a breakfast burger, but
They always do, mother.
do they?
No,
A hangover. It's a hangover burger.
How dare you?
So what do you like about the egg on the burger?
What's not to love? I mean, you
The
got
yolk
the
kinda
yolkiness,
going on.
the umami, everything going on in the burger. Like if an egg
Different texture.
is available on a burger, I'm fucking getting it every single time.
I'm gonna stand strong. Eggs on burger is worse than pineapples on pizza.
No, that's
Oh.
no.
You are
Oh my God.
You are desecrating the structural integrity. The hamburger is God's gift to people. It is meat between a sturdy bun able to hold that succulent juiciness, and when you add that egg in there, you ruin everything. The bun gets soggy, and it's just, oh no, Phil, pass.
I might get that after this. I might get a
He's
Fuka burger
now
after
hungry
this.
for that.
Phil, why is all you can eat sushi so bad?
Several things. Obviously, the quality of the fish that they have is substandard. I've had influencer friends that go shoot at AYCE, and the tuna slice on the nigiri is still frozen, and you can kind of have that little icy crunch when you're going into it. So, but the value is definitely there, and I respect that, and that's why they're all crushing it. but it's just not my thing.
It's not yours.
The quality sucks. Yum Yum sauce, go fuck yourself. All that stuff. Like,
what the fuck is Yum Yum
yeah.
sauce?
Tastes like my ex-girlfriend roll. Keep that.
It always comes with why is the name always like the super sexy orgasm roll with Yum Yum sauce? It's like, ugh, I don't want your orgasm Yum Yum sauce.
Who invented that?
Who invented? Why
Was it I Love Sushi in Henderson? Maybe?
Most likely. Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, when I was a kid, I thought that was the pinnacle of fine dining. Oh, we're going to I Love Sushi for that blue orgasm Yum Yum sauce? Oh my God. But then Phil took me away from the cum sauce. And
orgasm has a color.
Yeah, right. Blue orgasm. Fucking disgusting. All right, Phil, lay it on me.
All right.
Hottest
wing flavor would be last on your list.
Garlic parm, because 99% of people don't do it correctly, right? Without the spicy for the garlic parmesan, it's not a wing, right? Wings require a little bit of heat. Even lemon pepper has the pepper, right? You need a little crack. Garlic parmesan, too savory by itself. If you don't do spicy garlic parmesan, I'm out. Pass.
Spicy garlic parmesan. I didn't know that would be a thing.
Oh, next time you go to Johnny Mac's.
Okay.
Spicy
I
garlic.
only get the buffalo.
I'm gonna upgrade your game. Seriously. No, I had to change your whole life.
Ooh.
Change your whole life.
That could be good.
Phil, will you ever eat a steak at any temperature higher than medium?
Yes. If the home chef fucked it up and I want to be polite, I'll eat it. I guess.
You'll send it back to be heated up.
I mean, in a restaurant, I'm sending that shit back every time.
Yeah.
Damn it, that was my next one.
If
He
it's
just
a
got
bad
me.
steak,
My
you
next
just
question
heat it
was
up.
going to be, Phil, how often have you had to send food back, but you can't talk about it?
I'm once a month. We'll send at least something back because it just wasn't up to standard.
That's
Over
fair.
that taste. First time we went to Peter Luger when they just opened, we sent back the first porterhouse because it was like not sizzling. It was medium well-ish.
Yeah.
And
we love Peter Luger. And we love Peter Luger.
Yeah, it's gotten way better.
Yeah, it's gotten way better.
Yeah.
But he's right. He's right. A lot of restaurants when they first open, and I used to be loath to send something back, right? I grew up in Vegas, and to me, I don't know, there's always just, I felt bad. Then they're never going to, the grill wasn't too sizzle for you.
It was fun.
It was fun. Thank you for being on. I got to say this, it's nerve-wracking selling houses to friends. It's the most nerve-wracking thing in the whole world. Honestly, and it's just truthful, I would much rather sell a house to a complete stranger, because when you're working with friends, you always want to impress them, right? Your friend chose you to help them on this journey, and like letting people down is the scariest thing in the world. But you guys made me feel comfortable throughout the entire process. You and Ayumi were super communicative. You guys made it really easy for me to do my job, and I wanted to give you a public thank you for that. I'm honored. I know you could have chose anybody in the world, and you went with me, and I'm forever grateful. That's why we play pickleball. You guys don't know it, but me and Phil are like non-racist rush hour, right? We're like
pickleball players.
Oh,
huh?
Phil is good as shit at pickleball, dude.
We've been playing every week since January, so
no, he's got this little secret serve where he just like, and he like, it's fucking good, man. Phil's really good at pickleball.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
I'm left-handed.
You're left-handed. I saw you do that. I was like,
yeah, but yeah, it's an honor calling you a friend. Singing Metallica and Pantera with you, and at Tokyo, hammered as hell off of lemon sours, is probably like on the.
That's when I knew I was buying a home from Brandon.
Yeah.
You sealed the deal with that.
Yeah,
huh?
man. It was midnight in Tokyo, hammered off lemon sours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's been an honor becoming not just your realtor but your friend, and thank you for coming on the show, man.
Absolutely, the feeling's mutual, and on the flip side of that, it was tough to ask having a friend be the real estate agent because I was afraid I was going to be a dick, and fortunately he said a lot of his clients are dicks. So,
feel free.
I love dicks, Phil. And then I said, wait,
there's
no.
the real.
I said, wait, no. wait, Phil. Pause.
But yeah, he made it, smooth. The honesty was always appreciated, and yeah, it was probably the easiest home shopping experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
My guy.
Thank you, man.
Phil,
Good job.
for the audience, for like the one person in the audience who doesn't know where to find you, Phil, where can they find you?
You can find me at Las Vegas Phil, FILL, at all the channels, IG, TikTok, YouTube, X, all that.
One last question. I actually want to do
Sure.
Austin, I'm going to do a cut of this, all right? And this is going to be, we're going to put this out. Phil, what's the one place on the Strip people aren't eating that they should?
Oh, shit. I would go with a lot of the Fontainebleau restaurants, but honestly, China Club is one of my favorite overpriced Chinese restaurants on the Strip, and it's always a great experience depending on the day.
Wow.
Better than Mach 32?
On some days, I do prefer it. Yeah, it's quite different.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like 1A, 1B.
Wow. Now I'm excited. Holy shit.
Yeah, and if you blindfold yourself and then walk in there, you won't even know it's a Chinese restaurant. I mean, guys, some people are wearing berets, like handkerchiefs tied around them, looking like mimes. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's a really great dining experience. Love the private dining room there, and I'm excited to go.
Right.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Phil. Bill, tell the audience where to reach you.
BillGaylord.com.
Or if you find him on Instagram in the sexy way, it's Gaylord.
Oh,
O.Gaylord.
that's what my wife says.
Yeah.
Oh, Gaylord.
Oh, Gaylord.
Yeah.
And as always, I'm Brandon from Vegas, man. Throw me into Google. You guys can find me anywhere. I don't care what your profession is. It's never too late for you to start working on getting a home, and we're here to help. As always, leave your likes, comments below. If you have a comment for Phil, don't worry. I'll answer it for him. If you're a content creator or an influencer or self-employed and you have a question of what it's going to take, the process, the people that you're going to need, reach out. We will help you guys with a step-by-step plan. And as always, come and be my neighbor. Peace, 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 peace. My producers hate when I do this, so I do it every time. I'm a dick too. Woo.